Can we spend the rest of the night interchangeably performing salah, nawafil salah and other salah as well, fard if the time is for fard salah, tahajjud, recite Quran, engage in dhikr of Allah, engage in dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, recite the hadith, the books of hadith of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, listen to a discussion about the tafsir of the Quran and the commentary on the hadith of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, to engage in this ibadah. Can we spend 8 hours an entire night doing this? Many of us would say, yes, it's possible. It may be difficult, but it's possible to do it one night. To spend from Maghrib to Fajr doing this, a week for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are people who do much more than this for the dunya. There are people who work at nights. They have night shift. And they are required to work all night. And they do that. They don't sleep. They spend the night working. And you know what? It's not difficult for them. After a while, they take it as normal. They rest during the day. They work at night if that is the condition at work. And they do this. We do things for the dunya. When it comes to disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh, that's the most fun thing for many people. They spend the entire night disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and they enjoy doing that. It's not difficult anymore. It's not difficult anymore. We do this. But when it comes to worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we find difficulties. We need to work on that. But think about spending an entire night in prayer. It's possible to do that. But I ask you now, is it possible to spend a week in prayer, standing up in nafil salah, performing nafil salah after nafil salah for an entire week, 7 days, without any break? Difficult, maybe some of us would say it's impossible to even stay awake for that time. We need to get some break, we need to get some rest, we need to eat something. Is it possible for us to spend an entire month in worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Is it possible for any one of us to spend 1 year, 12 months worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all the time without any break? And then I say, is it possible for anyone to spend 83 years without any break worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And I'm sure you will tell me it's impossible for any human being to do that. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, spend one night in the worship of Allah on Laylatul Qadr and you'll get the blessings greater than 83 years, greater than 1,000 months. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ خَيْرٌ مِنْ أَلْفِ شَهْرٍ. This one night of power is greater in blessings than 1,000 months. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then continues, تَنَزَّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالرُّوحُ فِيهَا بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهِمْ مِنْ كُلِّ أَمْرٍ. The angels come down on this night, and the Spirit comes down as well, by the permission of Allah, on every affair or errand. تَنَزَّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالرُّوحُ فِيهَا بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهِمْ مِنْ كُلِّ أَمْرٍ. The angels come down on this night of Laylatul Qadr. It's amazing how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fashions His creation and organizes them. There are 2 days of Eid that the believers on this earth enjoy. Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha. These are the 2 days of Eid for us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prescribed for us. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has also blessed the angels with 2 nights of Eid. They have 2 nights of Eid. One is Nisf Sha'ban, the night of the 15th of Sha'ban, Eid al-Malaika, and the second one is Laylatul Qadr. Laylatul Qadr, Eid al-Malaika, the Eid of the angels. And so, تَنَزَّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالرُّوحُ. the angels descend on this night. Descend to be part of the human creation, of the believers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the followers of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, who are engaged in worship of Allah. Because the angels want to be with those who engage in remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam Muslim in his Sahih mentions the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, in which it is stated that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has armies of angels or groups of angels that roam the face of this earth, looking for those who are engaged in the remembrance of Allah. And when they find that group, they join them and they call out to the other angels, come to what you're searching for, come to what you're looking for. We found it. They're believers who engage in the dhikr of Allah, that halaqah of dhikr, that they join. When the believers are reciting Quran, the angels come and join them. The angels want to be with us when we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so they come down on that night, that special night of power, which is the night of their Eid. And the scholars have mentioned, based on the hadith of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, that there are more angels on this earth on that night of Laylatul Qadr than on any other time. In one hadith is mentioned that they are more greater in number than the number of pebbles on this earth. So many are the angels. That they said that the earth is crowded with the angels of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then, وَالرُّوحُ فِيهَا تَنَزَّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالرُّوحُ فِيهَا. This ruh refers to the archangel Jibreel alayhi salam. And because of his greatness, the archangel Jibreel alayhi salam, being the leader of the angels, the angel of revelation, he is given special mention or singled out for special mentioning in this Quran, out of honor and respect for Jibreel alayhi salam, this great angel that would come and visit the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, that would come while the Prophet was alive in this dunya, would visit the Prophet during the nights of Ramadan, yatadarasuna al-Qur'ana baynahum, reciting this Quran, the two of them together. The angels come down on this night. There's an amazing concept we want to share with you. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to create Adam, human creation, the angel said, why do you want to do that? Why do you want to create someone who would cause fitna and problem and corruption and evil and wrong things on this earth? When we are worshipping you, this is what the angel said. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I know what you don't know. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. And so the angels then, when Adam was created, was saying that they would cause bloodshed and corruption and evil on this earth. But now, with the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the angels want to come down on this earth now and join us. Join the believers who are following the way, the example of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. What a magnificent spiritual greatness this is for the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, for each and every one of us, only because of the barakah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us and bless our families and grant us the great blessings of Laylatul Qadr and itqu min an-nar and freedom from hellfire. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Wa sallallahu ta'ala ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Wa akhir da'wana anil hamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.